welcome to this module. I'm excited to have you here as we dive into one of the most important building blocks of Python programming, statements. In this lesson, we'll explore variables, strings, numbers, error messages, and comments. You'll get hands-on experience using print and input for basic input and output, learn how Python works with different data types, and see how arithmetic operations and error messages help you understand what's happening behind the scenes. We'll also talk about comments and docstrings, simple but powerful tools that make your code easier to read, understand, and debug. These concepts may seem small, but they form the foundation for everything you'll build in Python, from quick scripts to full-blown applications. Our goal this week is to help you reach Competency 1, writing basic Python code using correct syntax, variables, and basic operations. By the end, you'll be comfortable identifying key parts of Python syntax and performing simple input and output tasks. To stay on track, make sure to read and watch the materials in Chapter 1 on statements. Try the practice activities, join the discussion 1.2, Introductions and Reasons to be a Programmer, and complete assignments 1.3 and 1.4. Everything is due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So pace yourself, have fun, and let's start coding. Welcome to Lesson 1 of Python Programming Basics, or as I like to call it, your first steps into the brain rot. Don't worry, it's the good kind of brain rot, the kind that makes you feel like a wizard when your code actually works. Today, we're diving into some of the most fundamental building blocks of Python: variables and data types, print statements, input and output, swapping variables, and a bit of simple arithmetic to round things out. So, what's so great about Python anyway? Well, for starters, it's clean, readable, and beginner-friendly. You don't need to write a bunch of confusing symbols or memorize strange syntax just to get something done. Python feels almost like writing in plain English, which means you can focus on what your code does rather than trying to decode what it says. So, let's start with variables and data types. Think of a variable as a little container where you store information for later use. You give it a name, and it holds a value. For example, name equals Alice, age equals 20, favorite color equals blue, pi equals 3.14. Here, name and favorite color are string variables because they hold text inside quotation marks. Age is an integer because it's a whole number, and pi is a floating point number. That's just a fancy way of saying it has decimals. Variables let you keep track of data so you can use it later without retyping it every time. Now, let's make Python talk back to us using the print function. The print statement displays information on the screen, and it's one of the most common things you'll use. For example, print hi. That's the simplest way to make Python say hello. But we can do better with something called an f-string, which lets you insert variables directly into text. Check this out. The curly braces inside the string act like windows where Python shows the variable's value. It's a super clean way to mix text and data, and it's been around since Python 3.6. Next up, basic math. Python can handle math operations just like a calculator. You've got your plus, minus, multiply, and divide. There's also %, called the modulo operator, which gives you the remainder of a division problem. For example, dog years equals age times 7. If I were a dog, I'd be dog years old. See? Now Python's not only doing math, it's bragging about it. Let's talk about one of Python's coolest tricks, swapping variables. Imagine you have two variables, A and B, and you want to swap their values. In some languages, you'd need a temporary variable to hold one of them. But in Python, it's as easy as this. AB equals BA. That's it. One line of code, no extra storage, and no fuss. It's short, elegant, and very Pythonic, meaning it fits the language's philosophy of simplicity and readability. So, to recap, we learned how to store data in variables, make Python print messages with flair, thanks to f-strings, do basic math, and swap variables like a pro. These might seem like small steps, but they're the foundation of everything else you'll build in Python. Every game, app, or data project you'll ever write starts right here, with a few variables, a couple of print statements, and a little curiosity. In our next lesson, we'll take this a step further and start making our code think for itself with conditions and logic. But for now, give yourself a pat on the back. You've officially started speaking Python.